Hello there and welcome to your monthly for the special love Valentine's month of February 2019. Masculine, feminine, twin flame, unconditional lovers, way showers, light workers, light showers, way workers, messages through the magic of tarot for this month. Thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure. I would like to invite you to just take a huge deep breath. Really, really deep breath right down into the bottom of your spine, or seemingly down to the bottom of your spine and then out again. And just to take a few moments just to be. I always think it's just a good little practice to really connect to the body, just whilst I'm shuffling the cards up a little bit more until they're baked. And just thank you for being here. And I was thinking about this, some other things I was watching on YouTube, you know, I preach it, I guess, all the time, that every time you give your attention to something, you're making more of it in the world. And so I really appreciate your attention here. And it is my pure desire to give you the messages that you need for yourself to be and live your best life and the best you, which you already are. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And there we go. Ready. So I'm very excited to see what happens this month. It's been very interesting this month on the weeklies that I do over on Vimeo with this reading. So seems like it does. Everyone's going on about how it seems like January's lasted a million years, but Luminek, yeah, it feels like it has. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do that, we're going to say, oh my goodness! Boom, 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 boom. Sorry, I don't know why I'm singing weird theme tunes. But can I just tell you what's so magical? Because when I got the cards out, this card was on the bottom of the deck. And I just was thinking, I was like, oh, isn't it lovely? That card's on the bottom of the deck. It's such a lovely thing. And wouldn't it be lovely if that card was on the bottom of the deck? And there it is. For those that don't know, this is my Divine Lovers card. I use the Centennial mini edition of the Centennial Rider-Waite deck, which has 2 extra pieces of artwork. This is one of those pieces. When I got these cards, I don't know, a few years ago, I just knew that I had to use this card as well and give it some meaning and intuit messages from it. It's my Divine Love card. I call it the Divine Love card. And for me, it's a Christ consciousness love. It's lip smacking good. It's just everything that you can see in that card. I don't even think that I have the words. It actually brings tears to my eyes. I just think it's a really loving, soft, gentle card and powerful card about love in relationship. With those 7 doves flying, you know, halo of doves, you know, the doves of peace, 7, you know, maybe representing the 7 chakras. It's just a beautiful card, and this is a very auspicious omen for this month of February. And what more could we ask for the month of February, the love month? I'll be honest, every day's Valentine's Day for me. I mean, my whole life, everybody's life is driven by love. It just is. And when we become aware of that, it really is the path to liberation. So it's a good omen. It says all the divine lovers, all the twin flames, all the twin souls are coming together in February. It's just up to us how we experience that. Right, let's see how. Let's get some more detail. We're going to do masculine on this side. First card for the masculine is the 8 of Wands. Where are we going to put it? We're going to go there. We're going to go there. We're going to go there. Second card for the masculine, the 10 of Cups. Is there going to be room? Third card for the masculine, Temperance. Wowzers. Fourth card for the masculine is the 7 of Cups. 7 of Pentacles. Rather. Oh, I just realised I need to move that away. Not set up the shot quite as well as I would have liked. Oh, that's even worse. Well, excuse this little bit of tripod here, but I like the way it's seeming. 7 of Pentacles. First card for the feminine, the Fool. Second card for the feminine, the Knight of Wands. Third card for the feminine, the Page of Cups. Fourth card for the feminine, the Queen of... Oh, interesting. Queen of Swords popping out there. Crown, feminine card, Root, masculine card, bottom of the deck. Wow. Right in the middle, in the heart of the reading, the Divine Love card. Divine Love is in action. For real, for real. Look at this. This is a love. I love this story. I love this story. Makes me want to sing. Let's go in. Let me just calm down a bit and translate the messages. So, I'll just read it. 8 of Wands for the masculine. Communication. This is Cupid's arrow, quote unquote. This is just communication of love, messages of love, especially with this on the bottom of the deck. But it's really about communication. It's communication from the masculine, and it's strong. I feel like there's a message here about telepathic communication. Telepathic communication is something that I enjoy a lot of the time. Had a lot of synchronicities today. Talking about someone and then they message. It happened to me many times today. Talking about my friend's child that lives 7,000 miles away, and the child, and talking about my friend's child, and my friend was talking to me to the child. I was talking about the child, and my friend was talking about, and then I was sending something for the child, and her mum, she was sent me something back. So I feel like, the message is distance is no issue. Distance is no issue. And sometimes that telepathic communication, it's saying trust that telepathic communication. Sometimes it's the clearest form. And it doesn't mean that it's not as important or not as real. There's also real communication, or quote unquote physical 3D communication, but there is a message here about the telepathic communication. It's saying, listen, I feel like it's going to be ramped up. I think you need to listen to it. It's just like, it's a feeling it's a cross between a thought and a feeling. That's really telepathy. I know many people that I work with and that watch these, and you're highly intuitive. You wouldn't be watching this if you didn't. But I do know that it is difficult sometimes for people to trust the messages that come to them telepathically. And this message is, listen to that telepathic message. But it's not just telepathic. This is about communication in every way. It is also about physical communication. Why I'm talking about it maybe being telepathic, or why it might manifest in that way as not physical. And this is not for the whole month. There's a chronology to this. It kind of starts off this way. This is like now early on. But now for you. The Fool is the first card for the feminine. So the Fool is a very enlightened card, and I'll tell you why. Because before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. There's no real difference between how we are in the world, how we look in the world, before we have huge amounts of realization or after. The Fool is the beginning of the story. And it's almost like we are the wisest when we are born. And it's almost like we learn things and then we have to forget it all and then to get back to the original state we were in. It's a very enlightened, very free, very powerful energy, this Fool card. And it's number 0. It's free. The Fool represents freedom and it represents presence. It's just beingness. But it's also courage. It's courage. But it's maybe, it's the Fool. So sometimes people can look at that courage and say, well, it's foolhardy. It's courage for no reason. And they can look at that and say, well, that's just idiocy. That's just silly. But it's not. It's just, there isn't any other choice. It's just the truth, to be present and to take the leap. So that's what the feminine has to do, or what the feminine is doing, in order to receive that message. But what I feel that Fool is saying is it's a very kind of high vibe, high level, very unconditionally loving vibration. So and that can be quite difficult to embody. So if that's embodied, then it will be experienced. If it's not being embodied, then it might be experienced physically. If it's not being embodied, then it will be experienced telepathically or spiritually. It doesn't really matter which, and also what I can also say is it needs to match up. So you can be in this energy embodying it, and then you kind of have a day where you're really not, you kind of lost, in something else and getting het up in other things, essentially getting attached to things and not quite feeling so free. It's a real experience of freedom and beginnings and newness and just presence, and it's a very, very high vibe energy. But, you can be in that 90% of the time, and 10% where when it aligns, when there's this impulse to communicate, that you're not, quite in that state. So, but you'll still experience it. You'll still receive it. The Fool receives the love. That's the message. That Fool energy receives the communication of love, rather. It's also travel. It feels like these energies, no matter what, these energies are coming into one another. Because this is on the bottom of the deck as well, I'm telling you, this is the love month, 100%. This is the month where we meet and we match up. I mean, there's more cards to come which say exactly the same thing. But I do feel like these energies come in like this. They're leaping in. This energy is traveling in that direction. This energy is traveling in this direction. It's a leap towards one another from both sides. And the reason why I think it's happening is this Ten of Cups. 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment. It's completion. It's all happening. It's like marriage, togetherness, 2.4 children, should you wish to experience that, in whichever form you wish to experience that, and the green, gorgeous valley and the blue sky and the rainbow and everything, and the little water there, the little lake or river, and the little house. It's this kind of experience of this perfect dream, almost too good to be trueness. People can really struggle with that experience. I mean, the masculine is having a great experience. We're all having a great experience here, but this is very much connected. Sometimes, for those that follow the weekly masculine feminines on Vimeo, oftentimes I feel like there's separation. It's almost like the energies are kind of doing their own thing, and sometimes the energies are really kind of interacting as one. And it really feels like it's interacting as one. And this is the heart of it and the heart of everything. I'm really enjoying this. I wonder if you can tell. So it's almost like a too good to be true experience. It's all, like the dream come true. There's huge sexual attraction here from the feminine side. Feminine is like, yeah, I want to go. It's passion, it's creativity, it's drive, it's fire. I like to think of the wands recently as this fire of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, it's what moves us. It's that intuition, it's that intuitive drive. We are moved. We just kind of get moved, like that. Into a position, and it's just following that animalistic drive, which is just what we are. We're animals and we forget. there's a lot of, I don't know, I mean, I'm in the UK right now, and there's a lot of kind of vegan stuff going on, and I do feel like sometimes we forget that we are animals too. It's like, let's be kind to all beings, or all beings, and all plants, and all rocks, and all, for me, everything's consciousness, everything's here, everything's a gift. It's to really connect with the animal part of you. That's what this Knight of Wands is. And it's like, and again, I'm really feeling this oneness. I'm feeling this experience of oneness. I'm really in this, we are all one. We are all alive. We are all conscious. We are all different. But we have passion. We have drive. And that's where the holiness, the spirit, the source, whatever you want to call it, God, energy, moves through us. When we allow ourselves to be these animals that we are, that's that energy of that Knight of Wands. And it's in it, the masculine's loving it, and it comes through the feminine. It's not aggressive, but it's very powerful. It's this communication. There's a lot of let's go energy from the feminine. What I love about it, that Knight of Wands, is it's right next to this Page of Cups. Page of Cups is more emotional, more soft, but it's still very direct, because the pages are immature and kind of, it's not necessarily thought through. But for me, as I say, the Page of Cups has this fish in his cup, and it's like the only cup that has the fish. It's this extra little gift that he gives, just because generosity is what he is. So it's this really pure, loving, generous communication, and it's soft. It's soft, it's easy, it doesn't judge, it just, and it speaks, and it does speak. And it's a lovely energy to match up with this Knight of Wands. So there's that passion, there's that drive, that animalistic fire, that fire of the Holy Spirit driving her, in towards the masculine. And he's, it's his dream come true, and he represents the dream come true for her. You are right, feminine. He is the dream come true. Don't, anything could have happened. What I want to say as well, if you want to experience this, you really have to wipe the slate clean. If you want to live in love, in relationship, and partnership, you've got to repeatedly wipe the slate clean. You have to, it's like, we can do it in our own lives. When you go to sleep, wake up, open your eyes, it's a new day, it's a new life. Like Nina Simone. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for me. That's it. And it's kind of like, you need to do it for yourself, but you need to do it for the relationship too. And for the people around you. I don't know who you are. Who are you now? Very often when twin flames, unconditional lovers meet, they feel that knowingness. They see one another so clearly, and they feel that intense attraction because they don't know anything about each other. When we return to that state, then that magnetism and energy can really draw us again. This is what's being asked of us this month. So that beautiful Page of Cups, in more simplistic terms, the feminine's definitely attracted to him. He's giving her this emotional security, I guess this represents as well, the emotional experience and the emotional connection that he's experiencing and she's experiencing with that passionate, sexual, creative drive, drive for him. And then, they meet in that. They meet in these two energies as well. Then the masculine's got this Temperance card. This is about balance. This is about masculine and feminine is really balanced and flowing. He feels peaceful. There's a very angelic, holy energy to this card too. Look at the third eye, all kind of illuminated. The halo is kind of walking on water. There's the flow of the cups, the huge angel wings. It's a very, very magical card. And it's peace. It's peace. It's balance. And these two cards are very beautiful next to one another. This symmetry, it's very, very high vibe, emotional, loving experience, and balanced. And it's beautiful. It's everything. It's the full spectrum. But it does seem here as though most of the communication might come from the feminine. So there's communication here from the masculine. This is kind of in response. In response, she's like, let's go. And in response, she's speaking the way that she feels. The message for the feminine here, make sure you speak your true truth. But like I said, wipe that slate clean before you speak. Just allow it's a natural response to what you're experiencing through that Page of Cups. It doesn't know anything. The Page of Cups doesn't know anything. Really, really got to wipe the slate clean. This is the biggest message. Major Arcana, this Temperance, Major Arcana, the Fool. So kind of big energies there as well. There seems to be, like I said, more forward energy maybe coming from the feminine. It's saying it's your time to talk, feminine. It's your time to speak. That this is much more receiving, but it's saying that, I mean, this is about communication, but it is a little bit more receiving, definitely on the masculine. But it's more like the masculine energy is more the middle, down the middle. But it's very, very high, very receptive. And the feminine's just got more of the action. She's got more of the court cards, more of the action happening, more of the figures doing some things. And driven by that Fool. The Fool doesn't know anything either. Page of Cups doesn't know anything. You don't know anything, feminine, okay? You don't know anything. So just remember that. You have known lots of things, but in this moment, it just doesn't matter. Love doesn't care for knowledge. And it cannot be defined. So just remember that. Even within the highest twin flame spiritual story you can build around it. Love is love. It has no boundaries. It has no narrative that it cannot be. Then the masculine's got this 7, which is a bit of a pause energy, but this is interesting. This is about who he is in everyday life. The pentacles are, the material world. It can often mean there's some kind of decision that needs to be made. It can be like a shift in career, or it's really a shift in his day-to-day practical circumstances, and he's thinking about it. It's also about value in terms of valuing himself and what he's good at and what he's achieved. It's about looking back at what he's done and feeling that he's done a good job, but at the same time, it's a review so that he can then know what to do to take that step forward, the next step forward. It's a bit of a pause energy. And so then at the end here, it feels like this is what they're doing separately in their everyday lives. This is what's going on for the masculine. For the feminine, she's just like, really, all the people, all the things, all the circumstances that are not working for her, she's calling an end to it. And it might seem a bit aggressive, that Queen of Swords. She might be a little bit too direct. She might be a little bit too assertive, or people might perceive her that way. Is she actually? No, I don't think so. It's really just calling an end. It's divorce, calling an end to relationships that aren't working. Doesn't matter whether they're, they can be romantic. Some people call those karmic partners. They can be work relationships. They can be family relationships. It can be, you have a difficult parent or a difficult sibling, and it's just, no, that's not on. Sometimes it's good that we create distance and we say no to the people that we love. But again, it's outside of this relationship, masculine and feminine. It's in her everyday life. But it feels good. It doesn't feel difficult. It doesn't feel negative. It's just cutting through the stuff that isn't working. And the same kind of similar energy over here for the masculine, but it's more like, it's not quite so cutting and it's not quite so drastic. It's more, there isn't anything wrong, but there's somewhere greater to move to. But it's the same kind of thing. This can be more drastic, according to an end, and even careers, jobs, things that aren't working. Okay, that's enough of that. Not going to do that anymore. Don't need to do that anymore. Pentacles are about abundance. There's a lot of abundance here on this masculine side. So there's some grounding, solidarity and abundance there. He is supported and able to support, but he's then thinking about, making more. How can I make this more? How can I build upon what I already have physically in the physical world, in whichever area he's looking? And yeah, so it's similar energy, but plays out in a slightly different way. The root is the Page of Swords. The crown up here is the King of Pentacles. Wow, look at all these court cards. Oh, this is interesting. This is about business and stuff. There's a lot of focus on the physical world. So within this reading, the root is kind of the energy that's kind of going on, driving things. And then the King of Pentacles up here in the crown position, it's more like the flower. I think I kind of like to call it the root and the flower, but it sounds a bit kind of weird, maybe a little bit prissy. But that's how I see it. That's how I visualize it. It's like, this is the root, and it does sometimes, but not always, it moves through this energy. Well, this energy is kind of like the axis through which all of this goes through. This Page of Swords is, again, similar to that Queen of Swords. Both are being quite cutting, but I don't feel like it's to one another. It's just saying, being unafraid to just say things. Sometimes the Page of Swords he doesn't think things through. He just speaks. But I actually think it's good. This is the energy that's driving this experience of abundance, drive. It is a very big focus on who we are in the world, the material world, this material circumstances, the material resources, the day-to-day practicalities, and this is success in them. It's running businesses. He's the entrepreneur, the King of Pentacles. But when these cards came out, I was thinking that Page of Swords is really about, it's this continuing this Queen of Swords energy of just say how you feel, speak it. I think it is to do with the relationship too. It's just say it how you see it, speak it. It might come across as harsh, but it's creating this experience of abundance, and it's to do with things really working out in a practical way. It's that the material reality, the physical reality, is full to the brim with the abundance of love that is here. It's the experience of the love physically. And it is about leadership, and it is about, like I said, it can be about entrepreneurship, and those kind of things. And again, there's this kind of businessy energy here over for the masculine. And again, maybe, and here for the feminine, it's just, I feel like it's calling to an end to things that don't work, relationships that don't work, and maybe careers that aren't working, or even just positions that aren't working. And this is the energy that's trying to come through. So it's like within the career, just say it how you see it. Just say it and let it happen. Sometimes it's really good that Page of Swords just says it, so it's said and we can move on. Do you know what I mean? Even though sometimes there can be a fallout. But I feel like there isn't how can you fall out with these two energies? You've got this divine love and then huge abundance and wealth. That's what it's about. It's about living and embodying this divine love on earth. Oh, interesting. Feminine card she brings to the masculine, or what she's got. She's not really, what she gifts him with is a focusing on her own journey. Always. It's very, very important. If you want to live in physical divine love, you must focus on your physical path. There is always more. This card says, there's a cup missing. But is there a cup missing? No, there are 8 cups there, but there is always more. And it's not that we're going on the journey to achieve something we don't already have. We can't achieve wholeness. We are not lacking wholeness, but there is always more. That's the paradox. And it's this focus, the gift she gives him is this focus on herself, and this focus on, loving herself. It's almost like this Page of Cups, love gets, given to herself, and she then takes it out into her experience in her world. It's really taking responsibility for her individual journey. When we do take responsibility for our individual journeys, we can then see each other in our individual journeys and help each other out truly in healthy interdependence and not codependence. What's the masculine got? The moon. Interesting. So it's almost like the feminine, he's presenting as the kind of it is the shadow. It is the uncovering of the shadow. There's a lot of psychological things coming up, maybe childhood things coming up. And I feel like he might want to communicate them. It's emotion, it's intuition, it's communicating his intuitions, communicating his emotion, communicating some of the difficult things. It's communicating revelations. It's about revelation. It's about the light hitting the darkness so we can see what's in it. And I do feel like there's a lot of communication from him. It may be that the feminine doesn't necessarily want to hear that. Maybe she's kind of focusing more on her own stuff than his. But that's okay, because I think what it's saying is the feminine is not there to fix this. This isn't being communicated to be fixed. It's being communicated to be heard. And it is part of her journey. And I actually think it is a little bit of a message to, you've got to remember not, especially for the feminine, not to put herself aside in order to meet the needs of the masculine, the emotional needs of the masculine. Because cups, again, it's emotion and, love. And moon, again, it's watery energy. So it's saying, make sure you look after yourself. Look, the moon's in this card. The moon is there. It's like he's with you. That energy is with you. Take it on board. Let that moon, let his revelations and what he's illuminating for himself. I feel like, it jumps across. It does get to the feminine, but she has to remember to go on her own journey. And I feel like it might be some communication or some difficulty of maybe things that did happen in the past. It's almost like when we can wipe the slate clean, like I was saying, then we can, from that neutral position, if things about the past come up, or to do with one another, or to do with something else, it can be dealt with and it can be seen. But it's very important that the feminine remembers to look after herself in her experience of this, his big emotional kind of revelations, and doesn't surrender herself. So it's equal. It's that, because there's all this energy coming back from her as well, you see. It's not like she's running away or going off into the distance and not really being there. There's a huge amount of energy towards him. But again, it's like she needs to do her stuff. She needs to get rid of the things that aren't working. But what I like about this moon is it is a feminine energy. Again, there's this balance here, feminine and masculine on the masculine side. It's about intuition. It's about seeing. It's illumination. And he is being illuminated, and he's communicating his illumination. There's great potential for masculine sides to wake up, to be illuminated, to realize, to see all the things that have happened, the things that he feels the mistakes he feels he may have made, the mistakes he may feel that she has made in the past, to talk about those things. But it's very relevant and important. It's just, the doors are open. The doors are wide, wide, wide open. It was funny because I was kind of waiting. I wanted to record this a bit earlier, and then I planned to record it at a certain time, and then I suddenly got tired. I thought, no, I'll have a little rest before I do. And but it kind of wasn't when I wanted to. It's kind of, well, I want to do it now, but happens when it happens. But I was kind of not annoyed, because I was really excited to see what was going to happen. I could feel this, and this has been happening for all of this week. If you haven't already, check out the weekly Vimeos, because this is this is the spread that's used. And if you want more information, just check it out. Because this isn't a surprise to me, because of the way that these energies have been, masculine, feminine energies have been evolving. And it doesn't, if you want more information, there will be more information in those, as to kind of like the more, the nitty gritty. But this is just saying for the whole month of February, the doors are wide open. And I mean, truly, the doors are open for love. And we really just need to be ourselves and wipe the slate clean. I just keep hearing it over and over again. It's like, you got to wipe that slate clean. And you got to wipe that slate clean every time you blink and open your eyes. I mean, there are so many opportunities. Every time you take a breath, wipe the slate clean. Every time you blink and open your eyes. Every time you sleep. wipe the slate clean and say thank you for this new second, this new day, these new eyes with which I can view my love. Sorry, I'm aware I'm talking a bit fast, but I'm trying to be clear. Just lots of energy coming through. Oh, look, and that's so interesting. So in that kind of outcome position, we've got this 5, but I know what the message is. It's, you've got to turn around to experience this love, because I was just talking about how that door is open, and I really feel like that wipe the slate clean is so important. And also this 3 and this 2, if you're focused upon what hasn't worked, you will not experience what is working, and this 2 of Cups love that is here. Again, it's this kind of self-pity that can it's the story we tell ourselves that we're not good enough. This is what this 5 is about. This 5 says, I am not good enough. Because the love is here, but we're dwelling upon what isn't here. And then believing something about ourselves. I am not good enough. Or this is not good enough. Either you or the love. Or love isn't really what I think it is. It is. But I really do feel like it's that we do have to believe that you deserve love. And stop focusing upon, other people are irrelevant. It's like 3 cups is 1 too many. If you want 2 cups, forget 3 cups. Whoever else, whoever that other person is, it really doesn't matter. In these love relationships, you must focus upon the relationship as number 1, above all other relationships. And I have no problem saying that whatsoever. Because it's you, and then it's us, and then it's us. It just won't work. And I mean that even above, but first before children, because children learn by example. And if you're focusing on and experiencing this true divine unconditional love, you will give that and show that to your children. The focus is upon this. And if you get waylaid, and it's that 3rd cup can be anything. Again, it could be of whatever's in the way. If there's a person in the way or a circumstance in the way, or whatever's been in the way before, it's kind of saying, well, you've got to make that choice. The 5s are about the middle path. 5s are not bad. They're about choice. They're about perspective. It's saying love is here, but you must sacrifice not love in order to experience love. And that's all down to your perspectives and projections. It is here. Right here. Okay, so if you enjoyed this reading, thank you so much for sharing it with me. For this month of February, I'm doing a donate $1 to love. And give me a little message as to why you would like a free reading. And I'm going to give away a free full hour reading for whatever you want to look into. We can use the cards for anything you want. Doesn't matter. The most complex twin flame relationships, narcissistic relationships. You can look into any relationship. You can use this spread to look into any relationship you wish. Money and business, one of my favorite things to do as well. Health. Your next 12 months can do that reading. What's the other one? Yeah, and then also just looking into your soul. Who am I? That can be useful in these 2 energies. It's just a spread that I do, which is just, okay, let's see who you are in the world and what your destiny is, what life really wants you to be, because it does want us to be something. You are unique. You have a unique message for the world. So you can choose one of those. You can make multiple. You'll see I'll put the link below. And because I want to, someone has a reading. Somebody here. There's a reading for you. And so I'm saying donate $1 to love, and we'll and see see who that person is. Otherwise, you can just buy a reading. I'll put that link down as well. But this is, this is it. This is the point. This is the crux. It's about living the love. It's just about living the love, living the love in your health, living the love in your wealth, living the love in your love, and living the love in terms of the whole planet and your personal evolution, and us living it all collectively. It's just everything. And I promise you, I'm devoted to that, and I am devoted to you 100%. Living that. You're such a gift. You're such a gift. I can't even, and like I said about that fool, we're born perfect, and we forget. And we are born love, and the life is really just finding our way back to that love over and over and over. That's just within us, just what we are made of. And these relationships are the mirrors that show us. And that's all I aim to be here for you too. So thank you. I appreciate. Please like, please comment, please share. Share this with people that you think might be useful to, that's struggling in relationship, or needs to know a little bit more. This is about getting this love out into the world and living it. And it is about finding your tribe, finding your people, the people that feel good to you. I really, really appreciate your support. And you support love when when you're just being you, truly. So just be you. And happy Valentine's Day. Have a beautiful one. Just don't devote that day to love, and then devote every single other day you have to love. And your world will then be absolutely filled with it. But it is nice when the whole world is kind of celebrating it, isn't it? So enjoy it. For those that struggle, just devote it to yourself. If you're feeling alone and you haven't got any physical experience of love, or you're not perceiving that, really just love yourself. Really just be kind to yourself. It's a day of love, and to celebrate love itself and not a circumstance. So just grab that opportunity and do that. All right then, enough chatting. I hope that was great for you, and a big hug from my heart to yours. We're all one, truly, when we are in love. And have an incredible month. I will see you next month. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what unfolds.